same story every year. So, anyways, I believe that's practice number 6. Today was full pads, but we've been in pads, so that's a little bit misleading. We've been getting after it pretty good and really looking for guys to fight through the rigors, through fatigue, through discomfort. Coach Jimmy Johnson was here today. He spoke to the team this morning and hit on some just awesome messages like he always does. It takes you back to being in that room as a player when he talked about the importance of conditioning, about the importance of eliminating mistakes, the importance of having your best players be your hardest workers. Really hit home with the guys and certainly appreciate him. But he was out there at practice today, so it was awesome. And looking forward to having more alumni, more former coaches back here and always sharing with our football players and our team. So that being said, questions please.
Well, how important are the speeches? Everybody has them. You've got guys that come through every year. Jimmy, Michael Irvin. How important are those talks?
Well, the fact that they are who they are and the fact that they invested their entire existence into University of Miami, and then the fact that it's actually carried into reality. It actually plays out in the rest of the day and hopefully the rest of the semester, the season, or whatnot. Yeah, it's ultra valuable. These are, you notice there's no cameras and it's not for show. We don't subscribe to that. Like we have our very private behind the scenes, hit you right between the eyes, lessons, mentorship, betterment, and for our players, that's special. We want to keep it that way. We want to keep it strong. We want to keep it real. It's extremely impactful. So it's something that we've always incorporated, but we're incorporating it more and more, and we look forward to do it someday.
We're going to talk to the kickers in a little bit. Looking at their stats from last year, it seems like Jake's got a bigger leg. Olsen's really accurate from kind of short range, and Weinberg's really good at kickoffs. So how do you anticipate using the two of them? Is it going to be a mix and match situation, or for different situations, or how do you plan on using the two of them?
I think it's important. Those are things that really stood out, but I think it's also important not to label them and let them compete, because what they have both shown in camp, they could both kick it out of the end zone, and they both have excellent range. We did kick 48, 50s, 52s. I forget what we got to, but it was close enough to 55 where you feel confident you can do it. And then Will Rocha, who's been here for a bit, is a guy that's really, really dependable. We feel really good about all three, but we're tapping everything. We're putting them in situations that they have to shine and create separation. So I really can't say how it's going to work out yet. We'd rather let it play out, but make it as fair as possible, assess, and then provide each guy with a path for betterment to give them a chance to be that guy. But I think this will be an ongoing thing also.
What did you learn last year about, you brought 2 kickers in last year, about just bringing in multiple guys and that competition that comes out? I mean, before you had Borgalis, who you knew was the guy.
Yeah.
But to be able to learn from having multiple guys who were competing right up until the start of the season.
I think it's the same thing that Coach preached this morning, that what we've always known, competition brings the best out of everybody, and you shouldn't pick and choose who that applies to. Whether you're the quarterback, whether you just came in as a guy that transferred in here, whether you're a freshman that just walked through the door, the only way to get the best out of people is to present them situations that's going to have them fighting, scrapping, clawing for their opportunity, for a role, for a contribution to the team, for a starting position. I think that holds true across the board for the entire team.
Do you have a sense, it's been about a week of camp now, do you have a sense for how hard you can push this group, this team? Is it a group that likes to be pushed?
It is. And the sense is that they've handled what we've thrown at them. We've thrown a lot at them, and we have an agreement that they're going to allow us, myself, coaches, themselves, they're going to allow us to take them to the edge. We're going to take them all the way there. It's the only way to get a breakthrough. I want to emphasize breakthrough as opposed to a breakdown. But you know what? We play in conditions that are really, really hot, really noisy. We're going to have to win the rock fights. We're going to have to win the shootouts. We're going to have to find ways to win games in a lot of different manners. And the only way to do that is to find out what you have by testing it, we could show it in presentations all we want. We could have some really neat overheads, but until we get it down pat with confidence out there on a daily basis, well, then there's really no value in that confidence. So we're getting better. Some positions at a faster rate than others. We do see betterment across the board as a team, and the coaches are doing a good job of challenging the players. And it's important that the coaches challenge themselves too, and that I challenge the coaches and they challenge me. This gotta love football has got to be universally, applied to everybody. Coaches can't get caught up in just, hey, this is what we do. No, we're going to do what's best for us, and that is a challenge to every single coach. How do we get the best out of every single player on the team? How do we get the best coach out of each individual coach, whether it be a graduate assistant, an analyst, position coach, or coordinator? So it's time for everybody to put their foot on the gas, and there's no limit.
Mario, how would you assess the play of the offensive line 6 days in, and have you seen players emerge again just in the 6 days?
I see a lot of progress. I see a lot of physicality starting to show in spurts, and I see us having a lot of work to do.
Mario, what have you learned about Cooper Barkay since he got here in the spring, and just how he's been fitting into the offense?
He's a complete football player, and I don't think I think he's proven over time that he fits in just about any offense, right? He's very he's versatile from a position standpoint, inside, outside. Multi-sport guy, so athletically he can perform anything in the playbook that we have. He's really, really smart. He has no hesitation throwing his body around. I think we involve our receivers a lot in the run game, in the screen game, and I think what's kind of neat. Those guys have the example of C.J. Daniels, a guy that came from 2 different spots and had to do it all, right? Had to block. Had to sometimes insert in there like a fullback. Not that you want to do it all the time, but sometimes it comes with it. Go up and make contested catches. Line guys up the right way. I mean, he's a complete player, and looking forward to big things from him.
Mario, with Jordan Lyle, just what did you see from him over the course of spring and summer, just in terms of his work ethic, trying to get back to being fully healthy, and then how have you seen him perform just so far in camp?
I see the Jordan Lyle that we saw a year ago in many respects, but with better physical traits. Meaning, I think credit to Coach Irv Young and the staff, the sports science and the training room. Those guys have really collaborated to put us in position to be able to practice like this, right? Because you train to be able to practice, and you practice to be able to play. And you're gonna play like you train, right? And we want to be, we don't want to post it or tweet it, but we want to be a relentless team, right? A physically violent, imposing, elite conditioned football team. And Jordan has taken strength and conditioning very seriously. I think he's certainly improved his COD, his XL-decel rate. He's healthy, which I think is a really important part. I don't think people really knew the extent of how banged up he was last year. And we see a full-speed player. We're really excited about him. We're going to test him really, really hard for the next couple of days.
2 more. Talk to us about Ryan Rodriguez. He's just one of your veterans. Who is he today? Can you explain something about Ryan Rodriguez?
Yeah, he's older than most. That's for sure. Ryan's seen it all, and Ryan has been through a lot of stuff. He's been through some very significant injuries, and yet there's never been any flinch in him. And the offensive line, the guy that plays, and he's multiple. He can play center, he can play guard. People don't realize he can play tackle as well. He can play emergency tackle, and he's done it really, really well. But when you're the center and you walk in that room, the entire room has to recognize that you're the baddest blank in that room. And everyone has to feel that presence, okay? And the more Ryan plays with this group of guys and the different parts that move around him and how they're communicating every day, he's gaining ground towards doing that better. And having SJ there, right, to push him as well. Having Reese Woodrow, who's doing a really good job, upping the end in terms of competition at that position, is bringing out the best in Ryan. But credit to him for really taking care of his body, for getting in really good shape. He's been able to go, and he's proven that he's now a durable football player.
I wanted to ask you about the Tech College Sports Act today. It's getting pushed to September. Just your thoughts from Miami standpoint, and also just college football in general standpoint with all that.
A lot to unpack, I would say, and I would say that you know, I mean, there's hints of an effort to resolve some things, but if it really is something to protect college sports, it should be about equality and parity, and I don't sense that at all. And I think there's a lot of work to be done, because at the end of the day, I'm not for anything that puts Miami at a disadvantage, you know. And I'll leave it at that. But you know, if again, you know, the NFL has a model that makes sense. This is for another day and time. But again, that needs a lot of work. It is nowhere near in terms of the word protect. It's not synonymous what's on the table right now.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Appreciate